What up? It's Jojo on the radio. Ellie Goulding is hanging out. Ellie, do you still run like 600 miles a day? Are you a crazy runner?
No. I do still like to keep fit, and I box. I love boxing.
Right.
I always post boxing videos on my Instagram, and then every comment is like, "Where's the album? Stop posting boxing videos." But no, not running as much anymore. I just feel like I had like a few years in my 20s where that was optimum running
Right.
time, but now my knees are kind of like sore, and I don't run as much.
So you're saying it's good that I never really ran. That's what you're telling
Yeah,
me.
no,
So
I think that the odd run is good, but long distance runs just can really be really bad for your knees.
gotcha. Well, I have a buddy that has the Nike app, which you did at one point, or maybe you still do. I don't know. And you're the voice in his head when he runs.
Is that still a thing?
He has
Hang
the
on
first
a minute.
version.
I think I need to get some kind
You
of
do.
commission for this.
It's the first version of the app, so you're still, maybe you recorded it years ago, but he has it in his head.
Way.
You're his voice. You need to be paid for this,
I'm
Ellie.
going to be calling someone up about that.
Damn right you are.
I'm
All
not
right.
joking.
Yeah. When you started to make the push for this new track, which by the way, Close to Me with Diplo and Sway Lee, we'll play that later on. But when you started to do the push and the promo for this song, you wiped your Instagram clean.
Yeah.
I just, and I've seen people do this before, but I've never really got into it. So I have a couple. When you I take a pride in my Instagram, and you and I probably spend way too much time on it.
We do. Well, I do. I'll speak for myself.
Yeah, I do.
I don't know if you do, but I do.
I'm obsessed with it. So when you go to erase everything, even though that's the plan, is it a little bit traumatic?
Traumatic or dramatic? Probably a bit of both.
Both, I guess, yeah.
But the thing is, imagine like 10 years ago, if we were speaking and you were like, and we'd be like, what the hell's Instagram? If
Right.
someone like came in and was like, Instagram's going to be the thing that everyone bases everything in their lives on, we'd be like, no, it's not. We wouldn't believe it. So I think really it just shows how much we depend on pictures to define everything about us. And so, I mean, that's kind of deep. Bit too deep for this early, but like, but you know what I mean? Like, it's like I realize that we just kind of spend all our time on it, and we judge ourselves, we compare ourselves to other people constantly, and then I realized I was doing stuff all the time, and I was doing charity stuff, then I go work out, and then I read a book, and I play piano, and some people just have to document everything, which is fine, and some people like that and like to follow people, but I realized that I was just basing everything off Instagram. And so
would you do things just for Instagram? I have to let me go do this because it would look good on the.
No, never. And if it's got to a point where you're doing things just for Instagram, I'm saying this in the most respectful way. Please stop doing that, because that is not real life.
Fair point.
Please.
Another question. Did you call Instagram and have them zap everything, or did you one by one delete?
You can archive. You can archive stuff, so you don't have to delete entirely. But I deleted most of it, like the old stuff. Because I've still got my own pictures for myself and my friends and family, but
did it take forever?
It didn't. It took like a day, I think, or like half a day. Yeah, it didn't take that long.
Seems like a lot of work, but I guess
I know.
I like the whole statement
but
you're making.
I'm coming back with like better stuff, so it's like
I love it.
New start.
I want a crazy fan encounter. Can you give me one?
The first thing that comes to my head, I don't know if it's the craziest. Well, one was that I found people in my dressing room. I don't know how they got there.
They got in your dressing room.
Yeah, which is why now I have to have someone check the room, because on a serious note, there have been some instances where people have have had horrible things happen at meet and greets and whatever.
Right.
And so he has to check the room before I go in, because we have found people in the room and in the corridors. I don't know how they get there, but I almost have to like be impressed, and kind of shake their hand. But and then the other one is, I remember a fan and gave me like a brand new phone, like it wasn't an iPhone, but it was a phone, and in a box and everything. But she wanted me to have it to call her, and she just left her number, and she wanted me to just use this phone like exclusively just to call her,
like the bat
and
phone,
chat.
like calling Batman.
But I think she thought that because she was buying me a phone, which was really sweet in some weird way, that the phone was just for her, like for me to like chat with her. So
did you ring her up like, hey?
No, I kept the phone. I think.
God, I don't know what do you. So that's how it ended. Like you just kept the phone and maybe called some other people, but
I don't know. I don't think I ever turned it on. I found it a bit too creepy. Because
what if she had? I mean, I'm probably overthinking this. But what if she had some sort of GPS, little tracking, kind of whatever,
In this day's technology, you never know. could happen.
Because to be honest, I have my daughter's phone. She's 10,
Yeah.
and any text she gets goes to me.
I think that's very wise.
But I'm
actually.
her dad. What if that happened? What if she was monitoring that could have?
I mean,
You know.
You're overthinking it, but actually, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, Ellie, true or false? You are, and I hope I say this word right, ambidextrous.
Ambidextrous.
Is that ambidextrous?
Yeah.
Is that?
I mean, I've started to lose like my right, but I basically can write with both hands. I used to write with just both hands and do everything with both hands.
So basically, when you were at your peak of ambidextryism, if that's the word,
I only ever wrote with my right hand at the peak.
But you can write with both hands just as well. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's more like when you do everything with both hands. So I like play guitar right-handed, but I'm mostly left-handed.
But you could flip it around the other way if you wanted because you're so good with both hands.
Yeah, I could give it a go.
I want to later on, like I want you to autograph something like right and left, and I want to see if I can tell which one's the dominant hand.
Okay, so now it looks it's gone bad now because I haven't been practicing. But you have to practice it because when you're naturally left-handed, you have to practice. It's not natural to do it with your right. But it got to a point where I was like the slowest person in my year because I was writing everything with my right hand.
Why am I so fascinated by this?
Because it is weird and fascinating. I was a weird kid.
Can you become ambidextrous if you're not? Can I oh my God, I want to start writing with my left?
You can teach yourself, but you're only ever naturally a left hand or a right hand.
Gotcha.
Really. I don't know why.
Ellie, are we working on, like your fans they're always yelling at you? Are you working on an album? Album details?
I am. I mean, it's almost ready, really.
Give me a percentage, 80%, 90%.
I've got this annoying thing where I keep coming up with new songs and it's just really, it's not helpful at all. Because I've got all these songs that I love and they're so close to my heart and I've been writing them over the past couple of years. And when you've got a song that you'll be willing to play forever, when it's still stuck with you after a couple of years. But then I keep writing new ones and then I'm like, oh no, maybe that's better. So I need to stop doing that. But no, it's pretty much there. Next year will be the year, definitely.
So
in lots of ways.
I have a prediction. Here's what's going to happen because it's based on what you just said, and I've seen this happen 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Album, there's the cutoff point. Your album has to be in on Friday, Wednesday, Thursday. The greatest song ever hits you. Oh my God! And it just that's the it's magic.
Yeah.
But it's also screwing with your dates.
I know.
So.
That happens, and it kills you because you realize that you either wait till next time or you just release it as well. I don't know. There's not really any rules anymore. I feel like people just release stuff willy nilly, don't they?
Willy nilly. I love that. I'm gonna work that into my British accent. Hey, any tour plans? I would imagine so, right?
I imagine tour would be end of next year. That's just my prediction. I've just made that up, but I think that will probably be the case.
So end of 2018, give or take.
Because I'm probably gonna get married end of next year, and then I'll go on tour. I need to sort that out first and then go on tour.
Might be a little, priority one. Got it. I need a crazy, you've toured a ton, of course, like you said, touring end of 2018, give or take, after the marriage, the wedding, all that stuff, but you've toured a lot. So I know you have a crazy road story for me. And I know you told me about the Mike story.
Yeah.
Give me a crazy road story. You've traveled around with Bruno to Katie to your headlining tours. I want a crazy road story.
Oh my goodness. There has been some crazy stuff happen on tour.
For example, like One Republic, who you think are conservative guys, which they are. They're just pretty chill. But the strangest things happen to them, like the septic tank breaks on the tour bus. They leave a band member in another country. Weird things happen to them.
Yeah,
Maybe it doesn't happen to you like that.
We've had that. We've had been stopped at the border and they won't let us pass because one person on the bus I probably shouldn't say this.
Oh God.
yeah. Some of the crazy stories you can't really say on radio.
Now I gotta know, but I can't.
But no, because it's we're always crossing the border back and forth from Canada, States, and yeah, there have definitely been some border issues, with certain people and certain things.
Can you tell me okay? Can I guess? Or you're not gonna tell me?
You can guess if you want. There's two different things that America is quite strongly against.
Gotcha. One band member. God, I'm so afraid to even say that. One band member had a slight criminal record. No, I'm just making this.
I'm not allowed to talk about this. Didn't say anything. Didn't confirm or
all right,
deny. I
okay.
couldn't possibly
Jesus,
say.
I'm just making stuff up. Okay.
No, and then actually we turned up to a gig once. This was early days, like lights days, and the pub or whatever it was, the club was flooded. The toilets had flooded out. We all had to like leave because of health.
Yeah, that would be
Stuff.
ew. So
So yeah, I mean, tour, it just inevitable that there will be like weird things happen, like with fans or with venues or with buses. It usually involves tour buses because they're just kind of a disaster waiting to happen. So
it seems like like people think touring is amazing, which I guess yeah, it is pretty cool. There's a lot of cool things about
it's
it.
not glam.
But it's a hot mess at times too.
It is. Yeah, it is. I think people think that you like on this luxury bus, and the buses are actually quite nice. But you leave the venue at like midnight, and then you travel to the next place. The crew get off at like 5 a.m. set up, and then you don't really sleep. It's kind of bumpy, and I'd rather get the bus than fly because I think it's probably better, and B, it's just too much kind of rigmarole going to the airport and leaving, and so actually just getting on the bus when you're really tired after a show is better, but then you just don't really sleep that much. So yeah, you're delirious most of the time.
Are you delirious now?
No, because I haven't been on tour.
Oh, got it. Okay.
And I toured for about 10 years on, pretty much the whole time. And then the last 2 years I haven't, and it's been amazing. I feel like I've like added life back, added some years back onto myself.
So now you're kind of like, this tour thing. I guess you know what to expect at least, though.
Well,
So.
I know what to expect, and I maybe I just won't do as an intense tour. But also it helps that I live in New York because that helps touring here because
Right.
I've got a base to go back to now.
Got it. Well,
so that helps.
that's tour life with Ellie Goulding. In case you were
Hashtag tour life, yeah.
Hashtag tour life. All right, Ellie, let's do this track. This is Close to Me. Of course, Diplo and Sway Lee with you. Details on this track. What do we need to know?
Well, I actually wrote this here in LA, and I wrote it at a point where I was kind of writing a bunch of deep stuff about what was going on in the world and various other things, and then I was like, I really just want to sing a song about kind of having a ride or die person who wants to go to the party with you and just have fun, have a laugh. Because at the time, I think some really dark stuff was happening. I don't know whether it was in politics or you know what I mean,
Right. So you wrote it yesterday?
Yeah, exactly. But I think sometimes that you either get drawn to like write about things that are really like making you sad, or you write about things that will sort of help you and maybe other people overcome the sadness, and instead just listen to a like pop song about two people that just go to the party and get drunk and they're there for each other. So that was my consolation or whatever writing this.
Well, let's play this track. And by the way, I just saw Ellie perform this thing live. She sounds exactly like the record, like the recording. It is just, it was almost like surreal.
Oh, thank you.
That's really
sweet.
Maybe
I think it's a compliment, right?
Yeah. It's like because
people think I use autotune all the time because I can like switch between notes so quickly that people think that it's autotune, but I don't really. I hate autotune, if anything.
Ellie, tell me the story about the you're on stage, the grand entrance, and the missing microphone. Give me that story.
Well, I think it was Canada somewhere, possibly like Edmonton somewhere, and I have this like big intro, which is like kind of the bit of the show that I'm like really proud of because it just sounds really cool and it's like a mashup of all different sounds and things coming from all of my songs, and then I do this like really dramatic entrance and also, I'm already kind of struggling because it's not my tour, and it's always difficult when you're like the support act because you've got to get people on your side.
Which tour was this?
This was when I was with Bruno Mars.
Okay.
So I'm walking out on the stage, and I like put my arms out, and then I go to sing the first note, and the microphone's not there, and I was so embarrassed. I just when you go like red and like start getting really hot when you're embarrassed. Right. I just wanted to walk off. I was just like, this is a joke. And it's so typical to happen to me as well. But my sound engineer, like the person came on, brought the microphone, was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And I just smiled and was like, you're fired. No, not really.
So, okay, so you grabbed the mic and the show the show went on. But
yeah, I mean,
oh my
yeah,
God,
I mean, halfway through the first, not halfway through, but yeah, during the first song.
that is
Yeah.
hilarious. Is there a video
Real
of that?
anticlimax.
Video-
There definitely is a video somewhere, and I bet someone after they hear this will like uncover it and put it on Twitter or something.
Well, I'm not going to watch it just for. Okay, well, Ellie, I've got a two-part question for you here.
Yeah.
One is kind of good, one's kind of bad.
Okay.
All right. So, what is the biggest crowd you've ever played for? Like you couldn't see the end of it. You know. Flip side, have you ever been booed?
Yes.
Give me
I've been
both
booed.
those.
Biggest crowd somewhere, I guess, between Coachella and maybe Glastonbury or maybe Benicassim, Spain. I played some big ass crowds. Yeah.
Like gigantic.
Like
That's
I
got to be a
headlined
rush.
Lollapalooza, that was a big crowd. But yeah, and then Booze was actually was also in Canada. I hope
Canada
I've
is
got
your
some fans
spot.
in Canada. Yeah, no, I think it was because they just weren't into it. You know, so you can't win everyone, and I think that particular crowd was just like, get off, we want Bruno. So yeah,
That's I've heard so many boos. Like Calvin Harris told me he got booed when he was opening for Rihanna, and it was when
Yeah.
it was in. I think he said it was France, and it was when he had a song. The first I forget what's the first single he had with Rihanna way
Oh,
back.
we found love. Or
yeah.
the other one.
I-
Was there another one?
Whichever one it was.
Yeah.
He had a song with Rihanna.
Yeah.
So you think her audience would have been like, all right, this
Yeah.
is gonna be great.
You just never know.
And he got mercilessly
I
booed.
just
He said.
I think it's quite mean when people boo. Because it's not, you know, for whatever reason people boo. Like it is hard. You have to think about like getting up there. It's hard in itself. So it's you know, and you kind of got to work off the audience's energy. So I remember I was playing in like Norway, and I love Norway. Like Norway's like, you know, I love it there, and I go there all the time outside of music. But I just had the worst crowd one time. And I remember like Justin Bieber saying that he also had like the worst crowd there at some point. And I think because like they're really polite and really kind of reserved, like even more so than English people, and they were just not responding. In fact, some of them were like turning around and like
You're like,
and,
I'm over here.
chatting to their friends, like drinking beer, and I was still performing. And I suppose it's kind of an ego, you know.
But you do feel
thing.
the audience feels you in a way on stage, and vice versa.
Yeah, well,
I guess.
it really is a thing that works together, because if you're sensing that the crowd are not feeling it, they sense you're not feeling it, and then it's just terrible energy. And so I just started performing to my band. I just turned around and was like performing to my band, and they thought it was funny. And then I've got a talkback mic, so I could talk to them in the microphone, and we were all just having a chat between us.
Like in
and
between
that's
the
really
song?
unprofessional, and I don't do that. That's an exception. That was just this crowd were particularly rubbish.
So you're singing like whatever track, and then like in between, you're like, man, these guys are awful. You know,
Yeah.
like stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, we say things sort of more blue than that, like more few more like swear words or
Oh, nice.
things. But whatever it is has to be shocking, because we all try and put each other off.
Congrats on you're engaged.
Yes, I am. Can you believe it?
How did he propose? I don't want to get, I know some things are personal. Don't answer those. But he proposed. How did he do it? Were you shocked? What happened?
I was definitely shocked. I lost the power of speech for about 10 minutes. I just couldn't physically say anything. I was so shocked, and I've never had that before.
Did he when you had this power of speech taken away from you?
Yeah.
Was he like, is she saying yes or no? Or
Oh no, he didn't. Yeah, because he he didn't know whether I was saying yes or no. It was quite funny because I didn't. I obviously was going to say yes, but I couldn't physically form any words. So obviously eventually I did say yes. But I mean it was nice because it was a normal night for us. So we were doing a puzzle, which is kind of nerdy, but whatever. We like puzzles. We're doing a puzzle. We're listening to we like this composer called Ludovico Einaudi, and he makes beautiful music. I mean, it's whether you like classical music or not, you can't help but love this music. It's so beautiful, and it's used in films a lot, and it's amazing. I don't know why I'm like pretending to play the piano, but yeah. So our favorite music was playing. Our favorite song was playing.
And you're at the house, or at your
at home, yeah. So it was nice that it was, he's not the kind of guy to sort of do the big, gesture. But he is very romantic. But I think that he just, something took over him, and he was like, I'm doing it now. So.
And he had the ring. He pulled the ring out. And
Yeah.
Let me see the ring. Where's it at the? Oh, zing! Oh my God, can't even see. He's blinding. All right, congrats.
Thank you so much.
All right,
Thank you.
Ellie Goulding has a new single out called "Close to Me," of course, with Diplo, featuring Sway Lee. So get on this album in the works, tour, all this stuff. I guess when it's all ready, we'll know, right?
Yeah.
All right, Ellie, true or false? and this is something that this is an older thing. I don't know if it's well. Here we go. When you were a kid, you had a fear of the dark, right?
Yes.
And as an adult, you still sleep with the light on.
Yes.
That's true.
And it's really bad, and I shouldn't for electricity or whatever. But I can't not see with the light on. Otherwise, I just freak out the whole time. I'm still afraid of the dark.
What about your fiance? Does he like? Oh man, I got to sleep with the light on. How's that work?
Well, I've kind of I do it in a way now where like so our like bathroom is next to the bedroom, and so I keep the bathroom light on because it's on my side, so he doesn't really get affected by it. And he like falls asleep so quick, but I'm a light sleeper, so he doesn't really notice. But I mean, it would annoy him, if it was in the room. But yeah.
Okay, got that.
So
Didn't want that to ruin your marriage. Do you still surf?
haven't surfed in a long time.
Good. You know
But
why?
I have been-
Sharks.
Yes, sharks. But I have been. Oh gosh, what is it called?
Scuba diving.
No, the other one with the surf with the skis, water skiing.
Oh, gotcha.
Water skiing, and I've also been what's the other one with a board?
Got it. Pokemon
Wakeboarding?
Jeopardy.
Wakeboarding.
Wait. Okay.
I'm a natural for some reason. I don't know why, but I got up like first time on both and been whizzing around on those. So
Why am I
it's
so
fun.
afraid of those? I'm afraid of sharks, and I just see you in the water. I'm like, don't.
I mean,
no,
there's not much they can do on when you're on skis. Sharks, and you can always get the boats just pull you away, and I suppose it can still chase you. To be fair, I mean, sharks are scary, but also I think the way that it's been portrayed is that they're always just attacking people, but they're not because we're in their territory, we're in their world, so naturally they're going to be like a bit like weirded out and like try and like bite us, but actually they don't really like the taste of us that much.
Ellie, I've got a true or false, sort of a touchy question. I think maybe I don't know. I'm a big Star Wars fan. I got a Darth Vader tattoo right there. I'm obsessed. I was told, and I have no way to prove this, that you were supposed to be in. I think it was the last Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
Were you in it or were you not in it? Because I was told. I mean, by a good source. I don't know what you know.
I don't think they end up using it. Let's put it that way. Because unless I literally was like in it for like 0.1 seconds, but
you did you or did you not film a scene?
I
Or is
feel
it like when you
I'm
get in
gonna get in
trouble?
trouble. I don't know why, but maybe I'm not. Like it's all been and gone now, hasn't it? Really. I mean, obviously the legend lives forever, but like
So-
yeah, I did, but I did, yeah.
You did.
I've got a
okay.
picture to prove it, but like I didn't make a big thing out of it at the time because I like to be dignified. But I was kind of annoyed that I got cut out of it. Because all the men, they kept all the men in it, and just I was the only woman, I think, and they cut me out. I think.
So you filmed this scene, and it was.
I'm trying to find this picture, but it won't load.
Oh, you have a pic of it,
No, yeah, I have a picture.
and you've never posted because, well, like I guess you can't
I don't
post
think
it.
I'm allowed to.
Oh my God, they cut you out of that. I
I
mean,
know, what the hell? I think I was really good as well.
did you know before you went and saw the movie, like I'm going to see myself in this movie, and then you're like, where am I
No,
at?
I was quite excited. I was like, a cameo and in something so iconic, and I went down, went down there and everything. I'm just going to end up telling you the story. You always have that effect on me, and yeah, and so I was excited when it was about to come out, but I wasn't getting any, no one was like emailing saying, oh, look out for you in this bit or whatever. And then at that point, I was like, oh, I've been cut out. But I imagine that probably happens all the time in general. Like there might be an extra that gets to be in it, and they're really excited, and then it doesn't end up being in it. So it's fine. But it would have been cool, right?
So you went to the theater. Still, you had your like, maybe I'm not in it, but you still.
Okay, I can't show the camera this. Can I
Okay,
just
she's
going
to show me this picture of.
So, to just prove to you because you're a big fan.
Okay, here we go.
Right, okay, it's loading.
I know we're on the radio, but. Oh my God. Oh my God! She's in a. Can I just sort of describe? Like you're in one of the ships. You're like flying a ship. Oh my God! And you look like you're.
I've never told anyone this, by the way.
Oh my God! Okay, I'm gonna hand the phone back to you. I
But
swear
you know
to
what?
God that.
Who cares? They didn't let me. They didn't have me in it. So.
Final question I asked you about it. You went to the theater, already suspect you might be cut out, but you bought tickets or whatever, and you sat in the seat, popcorn, a little soda. And you're like, maybe they missed me and they just didn't recognize me. I'm gonna sit and watch this movie, and you didn't like
no,
you.
The truth is,
how did you find out?
I didn't go and watch it because I knew that I'd be embarrassed if I took friends and they were like waiting for me, and then I never appear. So I don't know. I couldn't bring myself to. Well, look, I don't even know if I have watched it, so I might
Hey,
be in it.
are you in the maybe the like the director's cut when it comes out on DVD, something like that? The extended version,
I
maybe.
mean, we took a bunch of pictures, and it took me ages to get ready. They even like spent like half an hour covering up my tattoo.
Wow.
Um, so yeah. Oh well, never mind.
All right. Well, you know what?
Next time.
They need to put you in another one.
I
They do. I mean,
know.
that's just, come on now. All right, Ellie Goulding, you will forever be in my little personal Star Wars movie. So there's
Ah.
that. Ellie, did we cover pretty much everything?
Yeah, I think we did. That was a lot.
That was a lot. Yeah,
A lot.
Close to Me with Diplo and Sway Lee. It's
Yeah.
out. Get on that. Album tour coming up. We didn't talk about you. White wine makes you crazy.
White wine makes you crazy. That's a fact. Don't give me white wine.
So no white wine for Ellie Goulding. The whole Star Wars story, which is you
Crazy. First time I've told that story.
Really?
And I think it's about time. I think enough time has passed. I can talk about it. But yeah, at the time I was a little bit bummed out.
and the scene. You were in a spaceship.
Yeah.
Who was the other character in the spaceship next to you?
So it was Princess Leia.
Son of a gun.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, hopefully at some point they'll think, hey, maybe we need somebody else because they're making Star Wars movies every year. It seems
Maybe
like.
they'll like put that somehow in like another one and just try and like cut a bit of me out of that and just plonk it somewhere in the next one. I don't know how that works. But
I think have your crew ring them up and like say, hey, we did, let's do another one, and that would be so
I feel like they're
awesome.
impossible to get hold of, but yeah.
Well, Ellie, I love you to death. Thanks for hanging out.
Thank you so much.
At the end of every interview, fist bump to make it official. Give me a little bam.